good, y'all, man? We back with another video, man. How you doing? Feeling great today. Today we got horrifying carjackings caught on camera. We can get into the video, man, see what happened, man. Like, it's crazy, man, all this junk getting caught on camera. How are people recording at the right time for these things to be caught on camera? That's what you should be asking yourself, you know? We can get into the video, see what happened, man.
To be safe. Buckled in, protected, insured, all of it. However, some of the most dangerous things sometimes happen from within or around cars. Carjackings, muggings, and threatening situations can be difficult to avoid if you're not keeping an eye out. But why would you? Today we have more clips of carjackings that will terrify, disturb, and downright shock you. These situations sometimes come out of nowhere with no warning, and sometimes they could have been avoided given the right amount of attention. Make sure you watch to the end because you just might save yourself a world of trouble.
See, bro,
gas station carjacking.
You know what I'm saying? Just the thought of somebody trying to take something from you, bro. Come on, man. You gotta do what you gotta do, bro. Don't even just flip the script. Don't even let it go down like that. Can't let it go down.
Pulling up to the pump is usually a quick one and done situation. This person quickly found out that being careless with your vehicle can have more ramifications than you'd think. You're not supposed to leave your car running, of course, mostly for safety reasons.
You left his car on?
However, after filling up the gas can in his trunk, the man leaves his car unattended, likely running into the store for something. No matter how quick his trip was supposed to be, leaving those keys inside meant someone was able to slip into the car and lock it from the inside. The man comes running back to stop the car thief, but he's no match for a drive-off. The thief decides to ignore him and drive away. The comments make a point that it was less likely keys were left in the car than it was a push-to-start situation, but even then, lock up your vehicle.
Like, why you even leave your car on? Like, what? We are in 2023. Not 1, 3. You know what I'm saying? Bro, like, come on, bro. You leaving your car on? Man, you deserve to get that bit too.
If you're driving down the road, the last thing you want to see is your car being surrounded. This person pulled up to the light and was quickly surrounded by people and vehicles alike. If he'd stayed in place even just a few seconds longer, he probably would have been a victim of theft or worse. Instead, the driver begins backing up, getting away from the dangerous situation. He's followed, but it's not enough to stop him since he's in the car. The truck that was blocking him tries to do so again, but he continues backing up. Then an SUV
they had a whole thing set up.
Swerves out of the way. He manages to get out with his possessions and his life.
They just set up crazy,
such quick reactions. Handling a dangerous situation at the moment is easier said than done.
They just set up crazy.
Close encounter.
Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way that's like that.
Looking at your home security camera shouldn't fill you with a sense
you in a mansion, man.
Whether or not it's directed at your home. These homeowners have their cameras trained on their driveway, catching the moments as a red car pulls
a Rolls Royce.
Only moments after the initial driver gets out of their car, someone comes up behind it. It all happens a little too fast to really catch because the person who sneaks up into the car drives off with it. Suddenly they're being chased on foot and then another
hop on the hood.
The car's clearly been stolen. The camera pointed towards the driveway catches this all on cam, but it was likely not that useful given how far everyone was.
That's crazy.
Body cam catches.
You mean hop on the hood, bro? I done did the same thing.
There are many reasons someone should wear a body cam. Police officers are.
Like, what y'all doing in like situations? Somebody try to steal the car from y'all. Like, what y'all doing, bro? And like, it all depends on the situation. Like, what's going on? Like, where I'm at and stuff like that. But it ain't gonna go down like that, bro. It can't let it go down like that, bro. Can't, bro.
One of the leading groups. It's great for collecting evidence, for accountability, and sometimes it even catches a crime without meaning to. This time it shows an officer doing his best to apprehend and stop a suspect armed with a taser as he takes off in a black car. The man drives in the wrong direction, plowing through a few cars, eventually crashing into a pole. The route on foot shows the officer does his best to
driving all through traffic.
The man does manage to get away, and by the end of the video, takes off.
Man, ain't no way, bro.
DC politician carjacked. No matter how much power you may or may not hold, you're still subject to the same random acts of violence as everyone else. This DC council candidate, Nate Fleming, was at the gas pump like any other day. Suddenly an SUV comes pulling up and jumps out and points a gun at his face.
Bro.
He quickly backs away, which is all the better, and throws his keys at the attackers. At this point, it's his keys or his life, and the keys are far less important, it seems.
Yeah, you might well just throw it. Like, at that point, they got the option. You have no choice but
one person jumped into the councilman's car while the others backed out ungracefully to make their grand escape.
You got no choice but to hand
driveway shakedown. It's impossible to be ready for anything. You never know what the world's going to throw at you. As filmed by a Ring camera, this clip catches the moment when a man is mugged and subsequently carjacked from the comfort of his own front yard. The carjacking was in broad daylight as a man came into his driveway. Two armed people with handguns began intimidating the victim, pushing him back with their weapons. The suspect was followed from a parking spot elsewhere all the way back to his driveway, knowing exactly who they were targeting. This
They in
a
little rich neighborhood,
where people were ambushed and subsequently victimized in places they believed to be safe. Places like their home driveway or a parking lot in broad daylight. I guess it still pays to be a little extra careful these days.
Hey, bro, I don't say you never know what's gonna happen, bro.
For your state? If not, no worries.
You gotta always pay attention, man. You gotta always pay attention.
Highway carjacking.
It's
best to leave some of these situations up to the professionals. This high-speed chase as a stolen car weaves in and out of traffic to evade capture is one of those times. The victim says they were waiting at a stoplight when a man suddenly jumped into their car. They were forced out of the vehicle, stranded, and barefoot in traffic. A witness caught the interaction, as the man wasn't angry or aggressive, simply scared for his life and looking to avoid people who sought to do him harm. He approached the car, grabbed the unlocked door handle, and forced his way inside.
So he grabbed my door handle, which I'm ashamed to say was not locked. The door opened up and I was...
Your door wasn't locked?
This man. Now, he never looked angry or threatening. He looked scared. And that's when he told me that these men were trying to kill him and he wanted me to help him.
He'd first jumped in the bed of the witness's truck before trying a woman's car.
And
the woman didn't fight back,
afraid
for her own life and the man. He suddenly grabbed the wheel from her and, in her fight or flight, decided to grab her purse and escape the moving vehicle. There was a 3-mile chase caught on dash cam while the thief swerved for a while before hitting the curb on the side of the road. The carjacking wrapped up pretty soon after that, though he still gives a bit of a chase. Some people never know when to quit, right?
You got no shoes on, none of that.
Facebook Live. Being live on the internet can catch some insane things. This man was speaking live when you see someone running in the back. The thief quickly approaches with a gun to the man's head, forcing him out of the car.
I'm so scared because they have a gun. They need to shoot me. They say to get off your car. They take my car.
Then, having stolen his wallet, he jumps into the car and begins driving away. He's clearly paranoid, looking around, driving quickly, not having noticed the phone recording his every movement.
Man.
Eventually he does, but it's long.
He don't even know he was on
Facebook
Live.
Under his mask, and likely reported or screenshotted dozens of times. They eventually found the car, stripped and abandoned, with no thief in sight. He made off with the tags, the keys, and more.
Oh, he did not realize he was on live.
Carjacker fail. Rarely can you say a carjacking goes right. This clip catches the
man running in the car and
smashes into the back of a parked SUV. As it turns out, a carjacker had stolen the white.
What's the point of trying to steal somebody's car, though? I don't understand this, though. Like, just how I don't know, bro.
White car in the video and drove it directly into the parked car, with one of the victims still in the car with them.
She was fighting them the entire way. And I've never seen a situation like this with this girl. She was fighting these two criminals waving guns at her.
The thief, a 15-year-old,
what his name is,
would go on to face charges for their crimes, including.
What brother name is Rick Fluff? Nah, he look like a way older version of Rick.
It all happened so fast. How do you think you'd respond if you were still in the car when it was actively being stolen? Early morning thieves. Your morning commute is rarely very eventful. It's early, you're tired, and you just want to get in and make money. This man, however, was in for the shock of his life, as a few brazen carjackers leapt on his lack of attention for their benefit. Early in the morning, this victim in Philadelphia was likely still groggy.
Dang, them boys just pulled right on side of him, man, bro. That's crazy.
Since there was a carjacking around the corner from me, that was already on my mind, and now, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about it.
However, it meant that a routine day in the office became a downright nightmare.
Dang,
two masked men approached the man's car, waving weapons around.
Ain't no carjacking even
like happened like this. The carjackers commandeered his car,
He's
driving off quickly and out of sight. It's wild they got this camera, a CCTV feed that happened to be coming from a neighbor's house. Given this happened in a suburban neighborhood, it calls to question, is anywhere really safe?
Nope.
Threatened
I feel like
class.
I feel like you always gotta have your, you know what I'm saying? You know, have your shit, have your protection with you. You know, cause you never know what people are on, bro. Like you could just be chilling, getting gas. Next thing you know, somebody trying to steal your car, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? You never know, bro. You know, it's crazy.
A carjacking is a lot of people's worst nightmare. One with a weapon, even more so. This CCTV footage catches the moments when a man heads out to his car on a regular day like any other. A man, masked, comes onto the property with his gun out. Knowing there's nothing he can do, the student walks back with his arms up. He returns to the house, telling his dad the man has a gun. The father, quickly as he does, goes running out after the thief, brazenly unaffected by the gun he's been informed he had.
When I ran to the car and I grabbed the door handle, and it was locked. He kept going down and he turned.
This was apparently part of a larger trend of dangerous criminals in the area, the neighborhood being targeted ruthlessly over some time.
We're just helpless. We're being preyed upon.
It was enough to make them not feel surprised by the turn of events, even though most people would be shocked and scared out of their minds.
Man, bro, that's what I'm saying. You gotta, at that point, you just gotta have protection. Like, come on, bro. She talking about something they helpless, hopeless. You know what I'm saying? They got to, bro. Like, it's insane, bro. Man.
No matter how seasoned and tough you are, a good carjacking can shock you to your core, especially when it's part of a longer-term issue of a spree of sorts. While at a gas station, these men decided to take it upon themselves to, well, steal cars. 3 men walk up to a car from off-camera, loading up into it. They rob the man of the money left in the car, as well as the vehicle in question. Later, the same crew was caught in a new car, dumping the old one to escape it. They didn't seem like they were in much of a rush.
They in a Mercedes,
just continuing into a spree, especially given how easy it seemed. They probably
Cadillac.
didn't know just how clearly they'd been caught on camera, though, did they? Gas station nightmare.
It's crazy.
On the road, you're vulnerable to a number of things. Animals, other drivers.
I don't get gas at night, bro. You crazy.
It could be a hazard.
Only way I get
However,
gas at night if I know the area like
when they were
well.
unaware. Gas stations seem like good checkpoints. Fill up your car and get away. But they can also be a vulnerable hotspot of dangerous activity. The clip shows a man in a baseball cap leaning up against a car, before waving his gun at the car's open window. He forces the driver out of the car and gets in himself. Posing as a normal person gets the driver to let his guard down, and then, surprising him with the gun would shock and frighten him in turn. How would you react? Fight? Or flight?
I mean, it looked like the dude in the other car had a gun out himself.
This woman was just loading the back of
Boy
her car.
clever, man.
She hadn't thought to close her door. She was likely going to just go back in. However, the man who approached her car had other ideas. As she was packing up her car, a man in a white tank top acted quickly. He jumps into the driver's seat of the still running car. She doesn't freeze, as many people do. She makes a quick move as the camera watches her go to pull and open the door back up. This doesn't stop the thief, though it does seem to give him pause.
I really thought he was going to pass on by, but then he just made an immediate turn and came toward the car.
How often do you think people actually fight back? Not often. He still drives off, but there's a moment where it almost seems like he won't. Before the last clip, since you watched until this point, why don't you consider subscribing to the channel?
It's crazy. I ain't even know, bro. I ain't even know carjacking even happen like this, man. See now, bro. It's on. Alright, bro.
And downright scary videos every week.
Yeah,
so stay up to date with our latest releases by getting those post notifications. If you enjoyed this one, we have plenty more for you on the channel, so you won't want to miss a single one. Gated Shakedown.
Gated Shakedown.
If you have a gate in front of your house, you likely are already thinking about your safety in a very real, very palpable way. In a neighborhood like this, there's a clear amount of safety precautions that go into keeping these expensive cars safe, but that's not always enough.
When I come outside, it's not the gate. They stole my cars. They ran my cars into my gates to get the cars out.
2 carjackers are not only able to break into the property, but into 2 separate cars. They then use the cars to ram into the
Bro, this don't remind me of that GTA mission, bro. Y'all know that first mission on GTA where you gotta steal them 2 cars
and escaping out the front.
Crazy,
it starts with 1 car pulling up in front of the gates, letting
how
the carjackers out
how's
as
he
they
able
work
to
their way
start it?
into the cars. The keys were actually left inside the vehicles, making the theft relatively easy. However, the cars were soon recovered, despite them trying their best to make sure it wouldn't happen. The factory GPS was disabled in the cars by means of being ripped out, but the owner was, in turn, able to remotely disable the whole car. Something the thieves didn't expect, given how quickly and haphazardly they abandoned the now-defunct machines. It goes to show you can't think of everything, and even if you think you have, it's not that simple.
Dang, that junk crazy. He had a whole different mechanism inside the car to prevent that from happening. Dang, he was already one up on them niggas, bro. But man, hopefully y'all like the video, man. I don't want to see none of y'all out here doing carjackings in these compilations and these videos, you know. know what I'm saying? Just go do what you gotta do to you know what I'm saying, be successful and stuff like that. And yeah, bro, just do you, be you, you live life. Hope y'all like the video. See y'all tomorrow, man.